everybody. Come in the room. Come in the room. I know it's dark and I'm not going to be before you long. I just want to get this math coding on demand here. So I just want to make sure that you guys have access to. So what I've done is put on the board. Um, well, I need it to be white. So I'm going to change it to a fill. Oopsies, I need to fill it. And I'm going to choose white. There we go. All right, so what I want to do is basically have this whiteboard here so you can ask your questions and I can put in the answers. Let me make sure you can see my whiteboard. Oh my goodness. I was supposed to come back to you and make sure that you could see it. But this time I didn't wait too long. So boom. Um this thing here. Let me see if I could change it to where I don't know. I'm just trying to see why. Hmm. Okay. Okay, add text. Hi, I'm Stacy, your math tutor. Okay. Click OK. Where's the text again? I didn't see it. Wow. All right. I'm still learning this tool. I think another thing that might be more beneficial is to have a tool that I already know how to use, or just keep on practicing with this one. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing. Oh yeah. Let me see if I can share window. So I can share my calculator. I can share downloads. I can share that. What is this? I can share my Chrome. Share that. It's not letting me share my paint. Wait. Yeah, I wish I could share my paint, but it's not letting me do that. So, oh my gosh. Well, I told you I wasn't gonna be before you long. That's my alarm. Um, but definitely I'm gonna be on here next time on Monday so that I can give you the good stuff. So we're gonna be on here able to do math. Let me see if I can do a freehand drawing. Let's see what the brush can do. All right. Oh, yeah. All right, welcome, 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 welcome. Let me see. This is great. I got my little welcome up, and good morning, everyone. Thank you for the like. I appreciate y'all coming in. Math tutoring on demand. This is an opportunity to get your questions answered. I know sometimes it could be hard, last minute, trying to get, um, help with math. So I'm going to be doing this on a regular basis, coming to you live. And then whenever you have a question, you can ask your questions, and I'm here for you. Hi, crazy gamer. Okay, so know that this is gonna be a live um on demand. So whatever questions you have, you just let me know, and then I'll be ready to answer your questions. Okay. So let's see. I'm gonna take down my little welcome, and then I'm gonna put my first math fact on the board. And I'm just doing this waiting for someone to ask a question. Okay, so let me see. First of all, I need to turn off my alarm. All right, so you can type your question in the chat. So what I'm gonna do is gonna put text on the screen. Oh, okay. Okay, so type your question in the chat. So you can see right there has a little icon for you to ask questions. Well, a little prompt there. So math tutoring on demand, you could just type your question, say what topic you want me to go over or explain, and then I will go ahead and put example questions on the board so that you know how to complete that type of problem. Okay, so I can do algebra, geometry, you name it, um, calculus. Okay, so let's see. I could start by, like talking about topics that I've already covered with my students. Like in calculus, we're doing a derivative, but I don't want to bore you. Like if that's not the type of problems that you want to go over, you know what I mean? So it's just important for me to gauge. So the more people that comment and tell me what they want to talk about, the better I can kind of hone in on what to talk about. Because I don't want to talk about calculus if you're working on geometry. I don't want to talk about, geometry if you really need help with algebra. So it only makes sense for me to talk about what you want me to talk about. So that's why I'm on here live, to kind of gauge from the community. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. That would be cool. And then I can come on here more often and help y'all with math. All right. So I don't know if Crazy Gamer is still here. I see two people on. So let me know what you want to go over. Yeah, and I'm here for you. I'm here for it all. Let's see. I could talk about what I've been doing. We've been doing proportions with my student that's in seventh grade. So she's working on proportions or relationships. So linear relationships. That's been one thing that we've been talking about. And one thing about proportions is that proportional relationships start at zero. So if it's a line and it's not going through the origin, then guess what? It's gonna be what you call it? It's not gonna cross the y-axis. Then you got um other options that are like what is I saying? I don't know why I say I have other options. See, I'm losing my train of thought, y'all. Uh Oh, if it doesn't go through the y-axis, then it's not a proportional relationship. Proportional relationships are basically y equals x or kx, where k is the proportional, how it's changing, the rate of change. Okay, so now in my calculus class, we've been going over um, so let me see if I can write it down. Oops. Okay, so I'm going to write, going on right. Okay, so recent topics have been um proportion and um and that was seventh grade math. And then in calculus we've been talking about um well, we were talking about more like differentials. Okay. So that's what's been going on in the different topics. So let me see if I can give you like an example. Oh, and also, if you want me to share this with you, like, I think I could share. Oh, this would be so cool. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Next time I share with those people who want like a session, but they can't pay. I'm gonna do this so that if I have Tutoring on demand that will help me get customers, paying customers. Differentials, we also did. Um, I think I could share my whiteboard. I was saying diary of a tutor. Hmm. I like this board. Clucky is very cool. And then it's something that I could share with y'all on the screen. Because when I share, I'll be sharing something that's like on, I guess, a shareable window on the screen, which is fine. I found this to be pretty usable. Oh, but what you may not know is that I'm writing a book. It's called Primordial Race. And so what it is it's a book. Oh wait. I don't really need to save it, but okay. So imagine these are the dimensions: 1D, 2 dimensions, 3D, 4D. And every number along the number line has a dimension, if you can believe it or not. Prime numbers are the 1D numbers because they don't have any other factors, right? A 2D number has only two factors. A 3D number only has three factors. A 4D number has four factors. So let's talk about these relationships between the numbers, we'll call it n, and the dimensions, we'll call it omega. So omega of n is what we're talking about, the primordial race. Okay, so this is a natural path for numbers. You can't really do anything at 1, 2, or 3, right? They're prime numbers. So we're going to have a dot at 2 and 3 because they're both prime. Then when you get the 4, you know that 4 is 2 times 2. So that's two factors, only two factors. Then 5 is prime. So, you know, that's down on 1. And then 6 is 2 times 3, which is also a 2D number. And then 7 is prime. Boom. For right now, it seems like it's just going up and down between um, prime and 2D numbers, right? But then once you get to 8, you jump to a new dimension. So that's going to be 2 times, let's look at it, it's 2 times 4. And then 4 is 2 times 2. So I just found the roots. And there's 3 roots to 8. So that's 1, 2, 3. So that's going to be up on the third dimension. Now I can, and then 9, right? Let's just do 9. And 9 is on the is a 2D number because it's 3 times 3, right? So that being said, we can connect the dots. Boom, 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 boom. And that kind of creates like a path for the the actual numbers to go through the dimensions. It's going up. And then two is the very start, and eight is the next start of the next dimension. It's start of the third dimension. So until you get to eight, there are no numbers that are in a greater dimension than two to the one power. Two to the two power, that's the next dimension, right? That's the second dimension. And then when you get two to the third power, you get to the third dimension. Now imagine I want to get to the fourth dimension. What number do I need to get to in order to get to the fourth dimension? Okay. What number starts the fourth dimension? Okay. Ask this question for all the smarties out there who might know the answer. Okay. Who are the smart ones? All right. Now, the next time I come on live, I want to see, um, and I think I'm gonna start coming on live a little bit more often, um, just so I can get a community of folks that like math, and then we'll talk about it. So, this is the dimensional graph. I probably should write it sideways. So let's see how good my side handwriting is. Okay, there's my side handwriting. Okay, so anyway. So in my book, Primordial Race, you're going to see dimensional graphs like this that show the relationship between numbers and their dimensions, or numbers and their um, factorization. And so it creates a path, and along that path, it kind of shows um, how many features are going to how many dots you're gonna have to pass through before you get to another perfect square, and things like that. So perfect square is like 2 squared, which is 4, 3 squared, which is 9. And then there's a pattern that emerges between these perfect squares. So I talk about that in my book. Um, also talk about these dimensional graphs, and then also I'm gonna be talking about uh, the fact that trees. I just like working with numbers and looking at the patterns, and that's going to help us when we start doing things like GCF. Um, it's just going to make more sense. You're going to be able to do mental math. The visibility is going to make sense, and multiples, least common multiples, things of that nature. That's going to be helpful. So it's important to kind of wrap your mind around the numbers and what they mean, how to find your next prime number. That's another thing. So It's kind of like a numbers theory books and how number theory kind of gravitates into or emerges or reveals geometry. So I think that's a subtitle is how arithmetic reveals geometry, right? From the start. So from the start, we're going to see the relationship between, from one number to the next and how it's going dimension wise. Okay, it is time for me to get ready for work. So I have to go. I'm going to get this rebroadcast and you'll be able to see um, these notes and what I've done. But the next time I come on will probably be, let's see, today is Friday. So I'm gonna have a calculus tutoring session tonight. So um if you want the next session, come to the next session tonight at 7. Okay. So I'm gonna put that on the board too. And I think I'll put it a red. Oopsie. So that didn't come out red. I want to change the color. So the next session is gonna be Friday at 7. Okay, so let me see. 7. Yep, that's right. Friday at 7 p.m. All right, hope to see you there. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye.